Rich on Repeat, written and published by Rich Audiobooks. Your mind is constantly running programs in the background, much like your smartphone's operating system. These programs, comprehending your thoughts, beliefs, and mental patterns about money, determine your financial reality far more than any budget, investment strategy, or business plan ever could. The fascinating truth is that 95% of your financial decisions aren't made through conscious deliberation, but rather through your subconscious programming about wealth. Think of your brain as a vast network of neural pathways, with some routes well-worn like highways and others barely visible like untrodden paths. Every time you think a thought about money, you're either reinforcing an existing pathway or creating a new one. If you've spent years thinking money is hard to come by or rich people are greedy, these neural highways have become your mind's default routes, with your subconscious mind automatically directing your thoughts and actions down these familiar paths, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of financial struggle. The wealthy mind operates on entirely different neural pathways. It automatically sees opportunities where others see obstacles, naturally gravitates toward abundance rather than scarcity, and instinctively makes decisions that align with wealth creation. This isn't because wealthy people are inherently different. They've simply programmed their subconscious minds differently. The good news is that through neuroplasticity, your brain can form new neural pathways at any age, literally rewiring itself for wealth. This book reveals how to create new mental patterns that run automatically in your favor, transforming wealth consciousness from something you have to work at into something that operates on repeat. By understanding what you repeat, you receive, you'll learn to create loops of abundance, establish daily reprogramming rituals, and ultimately make wealth your baseline operating system. The path to sustainable prosperity isn't about occasional bursts of motivation. It's about installing new mental software that runs rich on repeat. Lesson 1. Wealthy Thoughts on Autopilot. Your mind is constantly running programs in the background, much like your smartphone's operating system. These programs, your thoughts, beliefs, and mental patterns about money, determine your financial reality far more than any budget, investment strategy, or business plan ever could. The fascinating truth is that 95% of your financial decisions aren't made through conscious deliberation, but rather through your subconscious programming about wealth. Think of your brain as a vast network of neural pathways, with some routes well-worn like highways and others barely visible like untrodden paths. Every time you think a thought about money, you're either reinforcing an existing pathway or creating a new one. If you've spent years thinking money is hard to come by or rich people are greedy, these neural highways have become your mind's default route. Your subconscious mind, ever efficient, will automatically direct your thoughts and actions down these familiar paths, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of financial struggle. The wealthy mind operates on entirely different neural pathways. It automatically sees opportunities where others see obstacles, naturally gravitates toward abundance rather than scarcity, and instinctively makes decisions that align with wealth creation. This isn't because wealthy people are inherently different. They've simply programmed their subconscious minds differently. The good news is that through neuroplasticity, your brain can form new neural pathways at any age. You can literally rewire your brain for wealth. The first step in this rewiring process is becoming aware of your current mental wealth triggers. These are the everyday situations, conversations, or experiences that automatically activate your existing money beliefs. When you see someone driving an expensive car, do you immediately think, show off, or that could be me? When you check your bank account, does your heart rate increase with anxiety or expand with possibility? These automatic responses reveal your subconscious wealth programming. Prehead new wealth triggers begins with intentional exposure to prosperity-oriented stimuli. Start surrounding yourself with images, conversations, and environments that represent your desired financial reality. If you want to build a successful business, spend time in entrepreneurial spaces. If you aim to invest in real estate, regularly tour luxury properties. Your brain will begin forming new neural pathways associated with these experiences, making wealthy thoughts your new default setting. The key to this transformation lies in consistency rather than intensity. Small, regular exposures to wealth-conscious thinking will create stronger neural pathways than occasional, intense experiences. Think of it like learning a new language. Daily practice of basic phrases proves more effective than cramming sessions before an exam. Your wealth consciousness operates on the same principle. Your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between real and imagined experiences. This means you can accelerate your neural rewiring through visualization. Spend time each day vividly imagining yourself making confident financial decisions, receiving abundant income streams, and managing wealth with ease. The more detailed and emotionally engaging these visualizations, the faster your brain will create new wealth-oriented neural pathways. As you begin this journey of mental reprogramming, you'll likely encounter resistance from your existing neural patterns. This is normal and actually indicates that change is occurring. Just as a muscle feels uncomfortable when stretched in new ways, your brain might initially resist these new thought patterns. Push through this discomfort knowing that each repetition of wealthy thoughts is weakening old scarcity pathways and strengthening new abundance highways in your mind. The ultimate goal is to reach a state where wealthy thoughts run on autopilot, where abundance thinking becomes as natural as breathing. This doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent practice, your subconscious mind will begin automatically directing you toward opportunities, solutions, and decisions that align with wealth creation. Your financial reality will naturally shift to match your new mental programming, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of prosperity. Lesson 2. What you repeat, you receive. The human mind is like a garden where whatever thoughts we consistently plant take root and flourish. When it comes to wealth creation, this principle becomes even more powerful. Your repeated thoughts about money shape your financial reality with unwavering precision. Every time you think about money, you're either strengthening neural pathways that support wealth or reinforcing patterns of lack. Consider how Olympic athletes train for their events. They don't just physically practice their sport, they mentally rehearse their perfect performance thousands of times. This repetition creates such strong neural patterns that excellence becomes their default state. The same process applies to building wealth consciousness. Each time you consciously direct your thoughts toward abundance, you're laying down another layer of golden mental circuitry that makes wealthy thinking your natural state. Your internal wealth thermostat, the level of prosperity you subconsciously believe you deserve, is currently set based on years of repetitive thoughts and beliefs. If you grow up hearing phrases like, "money doesn't grow on trees," or "we can't afford that," these statements have been programmed into your mental operating system. The good news is that you can systematically replace these limiting patterns with empowering ones through intentional repetition. Start by becoming aware of the poverty phrases you repeat daily. Do you often say things like, "I'm broke," "I'll never get ahead," or "I can't afford it"? These seemingly innocent statements are actually powerful commands to your subconscious mind. Replace them with wealth-affirming alternatives. "Money flows to me easily," "I'm a money magnet," or "I always have more than enough." At first, these new phrases might feel artificial or uncomfortable. This discomfort is simply your old programming resisting change. The 21-day mental repatterning method provides a structured approach to this transformation. For 3 weeks, immerse yourself in wealth-focused thoughts and language. Write your new money mantras 10 times each morning. Record them in your own voice and listen during your commute. Set phone reminders to prompt wealth-affirming thoughts throughout the day. This intensive period of repetition creates the critical mass needed for permanent change in your mental landscape. Your brain doesn't distinguish between real and imagined experiences when it comes to forming neural pathways. Use this to your advantage by regularly visualizing yourself making wise financial decisions, watching your investments grow, and living your ideal wealthy lifestyle. The more vivid and emotion-rich these mental rehearsals are, the more powerful their impact on your subconscious programming. Your current financial situation reflects your past thought patterns, not your future potential. Just as a computer can be reprogrammed with new software, your mind can be updated with new wealth-supporting beliefs. The key is persistence and consistency in your mental repetitions. Every time you catch yourself in a scarcity thought, immediately replace it with its abundance counterpart. Create environmental triggers that prompt wealthy thoughts throughout your day. Set your phone's password to a meaningful number representing your financial goal. Change your credit card PIN to reflect your desired monthly income. Place symbols of abundance where you'll regularly see them. These external cues serve as constant reminders to maintain your wealth-focused thinking. The universe responds to patterns, not isolated instances. One wealthy thought has minimal impact, but thousands of wealthy thoughts repeated over time create an unstoppable momentum toward prosperity. Your subconscious mind will begin to seek out opportunities that align with your new programming, notice resources you previously overlooked, and guide your decisions toward greater abundance. Through dedicated repetition, you're not just changing your thoughts, you're rewiring your entire relationship with wealth. Lesson 3. Create a loop of abundance. The most powerful force in the universe isn't willpower or determination. Just as a snowball rolling downhill grows exponentially larger, your wealth consciousness can expand through carefully designed feedback loops that amplify and reinforce themselves. These self-perpetuating cycles of abundance operate silently in the background of your mind, constantly attracting and multiplying prosperity. Think of abundance loops as mental conveyor belts, continuously moving wealth-generating thoughts through your consciousness. When you notice money flowing into your life, you feel more abundant. This abundant feeling causes you to take actions aligned with wealth, which naturally brings more money your way. Each cycle strengthens your belief in abundance, making the next cycle even more powerful. The key to creating these loops lies in breaking free from linear thinking about wealth. Most people see money as a straight line: work, earn, spend, repeat. But true abundance operates in circles, where every financial win feeds back into creating more wins. When you receive money, instead of thinking this is a one-time event, train yourself to think this is evidence of the abundance loop at work. This subtle shift transforms isolated occurrences into proof of an ongoing cycle. Your subconscious mind is already running loops constantly. They just might be poverty loops instead of prosperity loops. The feast or famine mentality is a perfect example. You finally get ahead financially, but deep down you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. This expectation of loss creates subtle, self-sabotaging behaviors that eventually manifest that loss, reinforcing the belief that abundance can't last. Breaking this cycle requires conscious intervention. Start by identifying moments of financial increase in your life, no matter how small. A found dollar, an unexpected refund, a good deal, these are all seeds of abundance loops. When you notice these moments, amplify them emotionally. Feel deep gratitude and excitement, letting yourself fully experience the joy of receiving. This emotional amplification acts like fertilizer for the seed, helping it grow into a self-sustaining cycle. Next, create physical representations of your abundance loops. Draw circles on paper and write different aspects of wealth inside them: money received, opportunities noticed, inspired actions taken, positive results experienced. Connect these elements with arrows showing how each leads to the next. This visual reminder helps your brain recognize and strengthen these connections in real life. Take the principle of compound interest and apply it to your thinking. Just as money can grow exponentially through reinvestment, abundance thoughts can multiply through conscious recycling. When a wealthy thought arises, don't let it fade. Reinvest it immediately into your mental economy. Use it to generate 3 more prosperity thoughts, which can each generate 3 more, creating an exponential explosion of abundance consciousness. The most powerful abundance loops incorporate multiple areas of life. Money flowing in might inspire you to invest in learning, which increases your value, which attracts more money, which allows you to teach others, which creates new income streams, and so on. Look for ways to connect different aspects of your life into one grand abundance spiral. Your abundance loops become increasingly autonomous over time, requiring less conscious maintenance. They begin operating automatically, like a well-oiled machine generating prosperity while you sleep. This automation is the ultimate goal, a self-sustaining cycle of abundance that runs on its own momentum, continuously expanding your wealth consciousness and manifesting greater levels of prosperity in your life. Your role shifts from creator to observer, watching in amazement as these loops spawn new loops, creating an ever-expanding network of abundance in your reality. The initial effort of establishing these cycles pays exponential dividends as they become self-perpetuating engines of wealth generation, working tirelessly in your subconscious to maintain and increase your prosperity. Lesson 4. Daily Reprogramming Rituals. Your daily rituals shape your financial destiny more powerfully than any single action or decision. Just as elite athletes train their bodies through consistent practice, you must train your mind through daily wealth consciousness exercises. These rituals aren't mere routines, they're the foundation of your new wealthy operating system. The moment you open your eyes each morning presents your first opportunity to program wealth into your consciousness. Before checking your phone or starting your day, spend 5 minutes in a state of pure gratitude for the abundance already present in your life. Feel the softness of your sheets, appreciate the roof over your head, and recognize the infinite possibilities that await. This morning, gratitude primes your neural pathways for recognizing and receiving more abundance throughout your day. As you move through your morning routine, incorporate wealth affirmations that resonate deeply with your being. Rather than mechanically repeating phrases, infuse them with emotion and conviction. "I am a money magnet" becomes powerful when you feel the magnetic pull of wealth in every cell of your body. "Wealth flows to me easily and frequently" gains potency when you visualize streams of abundance pouring into your life from multiple directions. The middle of your day offers crucial moments to reinforce your wealth programming. During lunch breaks or quiet moments, practice what I call abundance breathing, inhaling prosperity and exhaling scarcity. With each breath, imagine golden light filling your body, illumining limiting beliefs and transforming them into empowering truths about your relationship with money. This practice takes only minutes, but maintains your wealth frequency throughout the day. Your evening routine is equally vital for subconscious reprogramming. Before sleep, your brain becomes increasingly receptive to new programming. Use this time to review your financial wins of the day, no matter how small. Celebrate the coffee you saved by brewing at home, the profitable decision you made at work, or the unexpected refund you received. These acknowledgments train your brain to spot financial opportunities and successes. Create a wealth visualization practice that feels natural and enjoyable. Some people prefer to write in a prosperity journal, recording their financial goals as if they've already been achieved. Others find power in creating a mental movie of their ideal wealthy life, complete with sensory details and emotional resonance. The key is consistency, doing these practices daily until they become as automatic as brushing your teeth. Incorporate physical anchors into your daily rituals. Perhaps it's touching a specific crystal while reciting your wealth affirmations, or wearing a particular item of jewelry that represents your financial goals. These tangible touchpoints help bridge the gap between abstract wealth concepts and your physical reality, making your prosperity programming more concrete and accessible. Your wealth consciousness shouldn't shut down during sleep. Program your subconscious mind with prosperity thoughts as you drift off. Listen to wealth meditation recordings, or simply hold the intention of solving financial challenges while you sleep. Your subconscious mind continues working throughout the night, often presenting solutions and opportunities upon waking. These daily rituals aren't about perfection, they're about persistence. Some days you might complete every practice with enthusiasm, while others might see you managing just one or two. The power lies in returning to these practices consistently, knowing that each repetition strengthens your wealthy neural pathways and deepens your prosperity programming. Let these daily rituals become the framework upon which you build your wealth consciousness. As you practice them consistently, you'll notice your thoughts about money becoming naturally more positive and abundant. Financial opportunities will appear more frequently, and your ability to recognize and seize them will sharpen. Your daily wealth rituals are the invisible foundation supporting your visible success. Lesson 5. Rewrite the money story. Your relationship with money tells a story, one that began long before you had any say in the matter. Like an old film playing on repeat, your earliest money memories, family dynamics, and witnessed behaviors around wealth have shaped your current financial reality. These inherited narratives become the unconscious script directing your financial decisions, opportunities, and outcomes. Consider for a moment your earliest memory involving money. Perhaps you overheard heated arguments about bills, witnessed lavish spending followed by guilt, or absorbed subtle messages that money doesn't grow on trees. These experiences formed the foundation of your money story, creating deep grooves in your subconscious mind that continue to influence your relationship with wealth today. The good news is that you are not bound by your inherited money narrative. Just as an author can revise a draft, you have the power to rewrite your money story from a place of conscious choice rather than unconscious programming. This process begins with compassionate awareness of your current story. What themes emerge when you examine your financial life? Do you see patterns of scarcity, unworthiness, or struggle? Or perhaps there's an underlying belief that wealth only comes through grueling sacrifice. To craft your new wealthy identity, you must first acknowledge and thank your old money story for the ways it may have protected or served you in the past. Perhaps believing money is hard to come by encouraged frugality that helped you survive lean times. Or maybe the story that wealthy people are greedy protected you from feeling inferior to those with more. While these beliefs may have served a purpose, they no longer align with your expanding prosperity consciousness. Your new money story begins with possibility. Instead of seeing wealth as elusive or requiring struggle, you can choose to view it as a natural expression of your value and contribution to the world. Rather than believing, I have to work harder to make more, your new story might be, money flows to me easily as I share my gifts. This isn't about toxic positivity or denial of real challenges. It's about consciously choosing beliefs that empower rather than limit. Future self-visualization becomes a powerful tool in cementing your new money story. Take time each day to fully embody the version of you who has already achieved your desired level of wealth. How does this future self move through the world? What decisions do they make? What beliefs do they hold about their worth and their relationship with money? The more vividly you can imagine and feel into this reality, the more your subconscious mind accepts it as truth. The key to making your new money story stick lies in living it now, not waiting until external circumstances match your vision. This means making decisions from your wealthy identity rather than your current financial situation. When faced with choices, ask yourself, what would my wealthy self do? This isn't about reckless spending, but rather about adopting the mindset, habits, and energy of someone who is deeply comfortable with wealth. Your money story is being written every day through your thoughts, words, and actions. Each time you catch yourself repeating old limiting narratives, pause and consciously choose your new story instead. With consistent practice, your new beliefs about wealth will become more dominant than the old programming. Your subconscious mind will begin to seek evidence of your new story, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of abundance. Rewriting your money story is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process of evolution. As you grow and expand, your relationship with wealth will continue to deepen and transform. Trust that each new chapter you write moves you closer to embodying your fullest expression of prosperity and abundance. Lesson 6. Anchor your beliefs in richness. Our beliefs about wealth operate much like an anchor at sea. They determine how far we can drift and where we ultimately settle. The key to sustainable wealth lies not just in changing our thoughts, but in creating powerful anchors that keep us moored to abundance consciousness, even when life's storms threaten to pull us off course. These anchors work through a fascinating psychological principle called state-dependent memory. When we consistently pair certain physical stimuli with specific mental states, our brains create strong neural associations that can instantly trigger those states. This means we can deliberately design our environment to automatically activate wealthy thinking patterns throughout our day. Consider your physical space as a canvas for wealth consciousness. Every object you interact with has the potential to serve as a prosperity trigger. A particular piece of jewelry can become your wealth talisman, instantly shifting you into an abundance mindset whenever you wear it. The smooth leather of your wallet can remind you of the constant flow of money through your life. Even the screensaver on your phone can become a portal to prosperous thinking. The wealthy sensory experience extends beyond visual triggers. The subtle scent of success, perhaps a signature fragrance you wear during important business dealings, can become a powerful anchor for confidence and abundance. The feel of certain fabrics against your skin, the sound of specific music, or even the taste of particular foods can all be programmed to activate your wealth consciousness. Creating prosperity zones in your space amplifies these effects. Designate specific areas in your home or office as abundance activation points. This might be a meditation corner adorned with symbols of wealth, a workspace designed to inspire million-dollar ideas, or even a simple altar where you practice your daily wealth rituals. These zones become sacred spaces where scarcity thinking cannot exist. Your body itself can become an anchor for wealth consciousness through deliberate posture and movement patterns. The way wealthy people carry themselves, their posture, stride, and gestures, creates a distinct energetic signature. By consciously adopting these physical patterns, you create a feedback loop that reinforces your prosperity mindset from the outside in. The language of wealth requires its own anchors. Create a personal prosperity vocabulary that triggers abundant thinking. Replace phrases like, I can't afford it, with, I'm choosing to invest elsewhere right now. Train yourself to use words that assume abundance. When instead of if. Expand instead of spend. Time itself can serve as an anchor. When you establish wealth-generating rhythms in your daily schedule, set specific times for reviewing your financial goals, visualizing your wealth expansion, or practicing abundance affirmations. These temporal anchors create a framework that automatically pulls your mind toward prosperity thinking at regular intervals. The most powerful anchors are those that engage multiple senses simultaneously, create rich, multisensory experiences that you can associate with your wealth identity. This might mean combining your morning success visualization with the aroma of expensive coffee, the feel of luxurious clothing, and the sound of inspiring music. The more senses you engage, the stronger the anchor becomes. These anchors gain strength through consistent reinforcement. Each time you consciously connect a physical trigger to your wealth consciousness, you deepen the neural pathway that makes this connection automatic. Over time, your environment becomes a continuous reminder of your abundant nature, maintaining your prosperity mindset without conscious effort. Your subconscious mind begins to accept wealth as your natural state, making it increasingly difficult to slip back into scarcity thinking. Lesson 7. Turn desires into defaults. The journey from wanting wealth to embodying it requires a fundamental shift from conscious striving to unconscious being. When you first plant the seeds of financial abundance in your mind, you must tend to them carefully and deliberately. But as these seeds take root and grow, they begin to flourish on their own, requiring less active maintenance and becoming part of your natural state of being. Think about how you brush your teeth each morning. You don't need motivation, inspiration, or a complex decision-making process. You simply do it because it's integrated into who you are and what you do. This same level of automaticity is possible with wealth-generating thoughts and behaviors. The key lies in moving beyond the phase of conscious effort into the realm of unconscious competence. The transformation begins by identifying your current default settings around money. These are the automatic thoughts and behaviors that occur without deliberate effort. Perhaps you automatically check your bank balance with anxiety, instantly feel guilty after making a purchase, or reflexively say, "I can't afford that," when presented with an opportunity. These defaults were programmed through repetition, and they can be reprogrammed through the same mechanism. Start by selecting one wealth-oriented behavior you want to make automatic. It might be saving a percentage of every income source, investing in your education, or seeking out high-value opportunities. Create an environment that makes this behavior the path of least resistance. If you want to save automatically, set up direct deposits that happen before you see the money. If you want to invest in yourself regularly, schedule automatic payments for courses or coaching. Your brain is naturally wired to conserve energy by creating shortcuts and automated responses. By consciously designing these shortcuts to align with wealth creation, you transform what once required willpower into your new normal. This process is similar to learning to drive. At first, every action requires focused attention, but eventually you navigate complex traffic situations while holding a conversation without conscious thought. The power of habit stacking accelerates this automation process. Connect your new desired wealth behaviors to existing habits that are already solid in your daily routine. If you already have a morning coffee ritual, use this time to review your investment portfolio. If you always check your phone before bed, make your last action a gratitude practice for the day's financial blessings. These connections create neural bridges that strengthen both habits simultaneously. As your wealth behaviors become more automatic, your identity naturally shifts to match your actions. You're no longer someone trying to become wealthy. You're someone who naturally thinks and acts in alignment with wealth. This identity shift creates a powerful feedback loop where your automatic behaviors reinforce your wealthy identity, which in turn generates more wealth in your actions. Automation isn't about becoming rigid or mechanical in your approach to wealth. Instead, it's about freeing up your conscious mind from basic wealth-building decisions so you can focus on higher-level strategic thinking and opportunities. When saving, investing, and wealth-oriented thinking become your default setting, you operate from a platform of financial stability that allows for greater creativity and expansion. Your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between patterns you deliberately chose and those you accidentally acquired. It simply executes whatever programs are running most frequently. By intentionally designing and installing wealth-generating defaults, you create a powerful autopilot system that continuously steers you toward greater abundance. Your desires for wealth transform from something you pursue into something you naturally express through your moment-to-moment existence. The ultimate goal is to reach a state where wealth-building behaviors feel as natural as breathing. At this level, you no longer need to convince yourself to take wealthy actions or maintain wealthy thoughts. They simply flow from who you've become. This is the state where wealth-building behaviors becomes truly effortless, and abundance flows as naturally as water downstream. Lesson 8. Affirm until it's real. The words you speak to yourself shape the reality you experience, especially when it comes to wealth. Your internal dialogue acts as a constant broadcast to your subconscious mind, programming it to either seek out opportunities for abundance or remain trapped in scarcity. Affirmations work by deliberately interrupting negative thought patterns and replacing them with empowering alternatives that align with your desired financial reality. The key to effective wealth affirmations lies not in mechanical repetition, but in the emotional resonance they create within you. When you state, "I am wealthy," your mind initially may reject this statement if it conflicts with your current reality. This resistance is natural and actually signals that you're pushing against limiting beliefs that need to be transformed. The secret is to craft affirmations that feel both expansive and believable, creating a bridge between your present circumstances and your desired wealthy state. Consider the quantum nature of affirmations. They operate in the realm of possibility rather than current reality. Just as quantum particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously, your wealth consciousness can hold both your present financial situation and your future abundant state. By consistently affirming your wealthy reality, you collapse the quantum field of possibility into tangible results. This isn't magical thinking, it's working with the malleable nature of consciousness itself. The most powerful affirmation engages multiple senses and emotions. Instead of simply stating, "Money flows to me easily," create a full sensory experience. I feel the excitement and joy as abundant opportunities and money flow to me naturally and easily. Notice how this engages your emotional body and creates a visceral response. This emotional amplification accelerates the manifestation process by aligning your entire being with the frequency of wealth. Building affirmation chains multiply their effectiveness exponentially. Start with foundational statements about your relationship with money, then build upon them with increasingly expansive assertions. For example, begin with, "I have a healthy relationship with money," and progress to, "I am a masterful creator of wealth, and I effortlessly attract and multiply abundance in all forms." Each affirmation builds upon the previous one, creating a powerful cascade of wealth consciousness. The timing and context of your affirmations matter significantly. Your subconscious mind is most receptive during the alpha brainwave states experienced just before sleep and upon waking. Use these natural windows of heightened suggestibility to plant your wealth affirmations deeply. Additionally, affirm during activities that already feel abundant, perhaps during a luxurious bath, while enjoying a beautiful sunset, or during exercise when you feel strong and capable. Persistence transforms affirmations from conscious exercises into subconscious programming. Think of each repetition as strengthening the neural pathways associated with wealth consciousness. Just as a river gradually carves its path through rock, consistent affirmations wear new channels in your mental landscape. The goal is to reach the point where wealthy thoughts become your default internal dialogue, requiring no conscious effort. Affirmations work in concert with aligned action. As you reprogram your internal wealth dialogue, you'll notice yourself naturally taking actions that support your affluent identity. You'll find yourself making different decisions, attracting different opportunities, and moving through the world as someone who expects and creates abundance. This is the power of affirming until it's real. Your external reality gradually morphs to match your internal programming. Your wealth affirmations become more potent when shared with the universe through speech rather than just thought. Speaking them aloud engages more of your sensory systems and sends stronger signals to your subconscious mind. The vibration of your voice literally changes the energy field around you, broadcasting your intentions to the quantum field where all possibility exists. Lesson 9. Train your brain for overflow. The human brain is remarkably adaptable, capable of expanding its capacity for wealth just as it can learn new skills or languages. Yet many people operate with artificial limitations on their abundance, like trying to pour an ocean of opportunity into a teacup of consciousness. The key to sustainable wealth lies in training your brain to expect and handle ever-increasing levels of prosperity. Consider how a muscle grows stronger through progressive overload by gradually increasing the weight it bears. Your wealth consciousness operates similarly. Each time you successfully handle a larger sum of money or achieve a higher income level, your brain adapts and establishes this as the new normal. This neurological adaptation is critical for maintaining and growing wealth rather than unconsciously sabotaging it. The upper limits problem often manifests when people start approaching levels of success that exceed their current comfort zone. You might notice unusual accidents, conflicts, or health issues arising just as things are going well. These seemingly random events are actually your brain's attempt to return to familiar territory. By recognizing these patterns, you can consciously choose to expand your comfort zone rather than contract back to previous limitations. Your wealth set point, the amount of money you unconsciously believe you deserve, is malleable. Think of it like a thermostat that can be adjusted upward. Start by identifying your current wealth set point by examining your typical income and savings patterns. Then, gradually expose yourself to higher levels of abundance through visualization, controlled financial experiences, and progressive goal achievement. Each small win recalibrates your set point slightly higher. The brain's neuroplasticity, its ability to form new neural connections, is your greatest ally in creating sustainable wealth. When you consistently expose yourself to new wealth experiences, your neural pathways reorganize to support these new patterns. Reading about wealth, studying successful investors, or practicing high-stakes decision-making in safe environments all contribute to this rewiring process. One powerful exercise for expanding your abundance threshold is the wealth stretching practice. Begin by identifying an amount of money that feels comfortable to handle. Then, in your imagination, multiply that amount by 10. Notice any resistance, fear, or discomfort that arises. Sit with these feelings while maintaining the vision of successfully managing this larger sum. Repeat this process regularly, gradually increasing the amounts until larger sums feel natural and manageable. Your brain requires evidence to support its expanding wealth consciousness. Create opportunities to handle progressively larger sums of money, even in small ways. This might mean managing a larger project at work, making more significant investment decisions, or taking calculated risks with increasing stakes. Each experience provides concrete proof to your nervous system that you're capable of handling greater abundance. The overflow principle suggests that true wealth comes not from clutching tightly to what you have, but from developing the capacity to handle more than you currently need. This creates a natural attraction for additional resources and opportunities. Practice thinking in terms of overflow by consistently asking yourself, how can I expand my capacity to receive and manage more? This question alone begins to shift your brain's operating system toward abundance. Regular exposure to wealth-expanding environments and relationships accelerates this neural adaptation process. Seek out mentors, communities, and experiences that normalize higher levels of prosperity. Your brain naturally attunes to the average of your 5 closest associates, so cultivating relationships with people who operate at your desired wealth level helps establish new neural baselines for abundance. The path to sustainable wealth requires training your brain to expect and handle overflow as its natural state. Through conscious practice and progressive expansion of your wealth comfort zone, you create new neural pathways that support ever-increasing levels of abundance. This biological rewiring transforms wealth from a constant struggle into your brain's default operating mode. Lesson 10. Make it wealth your baseline. The ultimate transformation in your wealth consciousness occurs when abundance becomes your natural state of being rather than a destination to reach. This shift represents the final evolution from pursuing wealth to embodying it completely. When wealth is your baseline, you no longer operate from a place of seeking or striving. Instead, you move through life with an unshakable knowing that prosperity is your default setting. Think of this as similar to breathing. You don't wake up each morning wondering if you'll have enough air or constantly focusing on your next breath. Breathing happens automatically, sustaining you without conscious effort. This is how wealth operates when it becomes your baseline. It's no longer something you chase, but rather an automatic part of your existence that flows naturally and continuously. This baseline shift requires a fundamental rewiring of your relationship with abundance. Instead of seeing wealth as something external that you need to acquire, you recognize it as an inherent quality of who you are. Your decisions, actions, and responses all emerge from this core understanding. When faced with opportunities or challenges, you automatically filter them through the lens of abundance rather than scarcity. The practical application of this principle shows up in countless daily moments. When you see something you desire, your first thought isn't, "Can I afford this?" but rather, "Is this aligned with my wealth expression?" When unexpected expenses arise, you don't spiral into stress about lack. Creating this new baseline requires consistent reinforcement until it becomes second nature. Just as an athlete trains until perfect form becomes automatic, you must practice wealthy thinking until it's your default response. This means catching yourself whenever you slip into scarcity thinking and immediately redirecting to your abundance baseline. It means celebrating every evidence of wealth in your life, no matter how small, to strengthen your prosperity neural pathways. Your environment plays a crucial role in maintaining this baseline. Surround yourself with elements that reflect and reinforce your natural state of wealth. This goes beyond physical positions to include the energy of your spaces, the quality of your experiences, and the standards you set in all areas of life. When wealth is your baseline, you naturally create and attract circumstances that match this frequency. The power of operating from a wealth baseline extends far beyond financial abundance. It influences how you show up in relationships, career opportunities, health choices, and personal growth. You begin to recognize that true wealth encompasses all aspects of life, and from your baseline of abundance, you can generously share your overflow with others without fear of depletion. Your wealth baseline also serves as a powerful filter for relationships and opportunities. You naturally attract people and circumstances that align with your prosperity consciousness, while effortlessly releasing those that don't match your abundance frequency. This isn't about judgment or exclusion. It's simply the natural result of operating from an elevated baseline of wealth consciousness. As you fully embody this wealth baseline, you'll notice a profound shift in how the world responds to you. Opportunities, resources, and connections begin to flow toward you with increasing ease. This isn't because you're doing more or trying harder. It's because you've aligned your internal setting with the natural abundance of the universe. You've moved beyond the need to manipulate or control external circumstances because you trust in the automatic flow of wealth that comes from your baseline. Living from this wealth baseline transforms not just your financial reality, but your entire experience of life. You no longer need external validation or proof of your abundance because you know with absolute certainty that wealth is your natural state. This unwavering knowledge becomes the foundation from which you create, expand, and share your prosperity with the world.